lawfare against President Trump. Let me give you a little taste. This is the opening salvo from the government's lawyer. This is how it started. Roll it.
May it please the court, Judith Vale for the New York Attorney General's office. All of the defendants repeatedly violated...
Ms. Vale, can you identify any previous case
He gave her 4
in which the
seconds.
Attorney General sued under Executive Law 6312 to upset a private business transaction that was between equally sophisticated partners where the supposed victim had the ability and legal obligation to discover the allegedly misrepresented matters by conducting its own due diligence, where the supposed wrongdoer advised the supposed victim through written disclaimers to conduct its own due diligence and to draw its own conclusions, where the alleged misrepresentation almost entirely concerned inherently subjective valuations of properties and businesses.
Yes.
And where the victim never complained about any fraud in the transactional losses from it. Because I've gone through the cases which you've cited, and all of them always involved the consumer protection aspect. It involved protection of the market.
Oh, several responses.
And I want to add to his question, and little to no impact on the public marketplace.
People, the honest business people who don't do the misconduct and therefore don't get the kind of benefit that they got here.
I suppose you're referring to the fact that Trump received a lower interest rate than he might otherwise have received. But haven't you yourself conceded that the assets were sufficient to get the lower interest rate of the private wealth management direction?
Being inflated. That was also evident from Haig and McCarty testifying about the incredible
Doesn't Mr. Hay testify that there were 14 factors and this was the least important factor?
Single year, and it was using...
I'm sorry, but what's being described sounds an awful lot like a potential commercial dispute between private actors.
And a professional appraisal firm.
But it wasn't the concern there that the public would ultimately be negatively impacted,
That's good, Aaron.
affected
So
by
you just
what
get
those
a little taste of how this